Don't you just love it when you make a statement and that statement aged like milk? In my last video, I said that Deus Ex is unplayable on the PlayStation 5 and that my PC is infinitely better because you can play that timeless classic of a game. Then Sony came in with their state of play and said, screw you! Here's Deus Ex the Conspiracy, playable for PlayStation Plus users as PS2 classics. I concede, PlayStation 5 can play Deus Ex 1, even if it's just a streamlined version compared to the PC version. It's still Deus Ex 1 nonetheless, and while it did make the statements from my last video age very poorly, I am very glad that PlayStation Plus users are able to experience this game. Personally, I recommend you buying the original on Steam and play an infinitely better version on whatever PC or laptop that you have that still runs Windows, because this game practically runs on anything. It runs on my old HP Mini 110. You'd have a more authentic experience with Deus Ex 1 on the PC than the streamlined PS2 version on the PS5. Oh yes, the PlayStation State of Play was just recently released. Plenty of nice games here and there, but there are two games that both excite me and annoyed me at the same time. I already mentioned Deus Ex, but the other one is IO Interactive's James Bond game First Light. I was plenty excited with that one because they developed the Hitman games, and they are very close to James Bond in almost everything. Agent 47 and the ICA are perfect James Bond villains. Also, World of Assassination, World of Assassins, perfect James Bond titles. And so is Blood Money. Any potential Hitman crossover? I mentioned this one because I was on a James Bond marathon this last couple of weeks, finishing the Connery plus Lazenby Spectre saga. Her Majesty is my favorite. Then this announcement just came out. What a coincidence, right? Have I been tempting fate the last couple of weeks? Doing so can be either beneficial for me or just embarrassing for me and beneficial for everyone else. That's just an added bonus and correction to my absolute blunder that was the last video. God, that aged like milk. But putting that aside, I got plenty of other materials to discuss. And before we discuss all that, if you like the content so far, don't forget to click the like button, comment, subscribe, and leave some tips through any of these means, including the new YouTube channel membership. Links below. There are reasons for people to be worried of the Elder Scrolls franchise, but I don't think this is one of them. The Elder Scrolls bros, I'd start getting worried. What are you worried about? The developers being women and they look like feminists or something? Is that really the reason why you should be worried about the Elder Scrolls 6? I say you should be worried the moment Bethesda released Starfield. That game is so mediocre and unimpressive, even tech reviewers are joking about not playing it. This is especially concerning when all the three developers being shown have shown their cred on previous Elder Scrolls games. Yes, just because they work on the good ones doesn't mean they're gonna score. Todd Howard worked on almost all the Bethesda games up to this point, and he's not exactly someone I trust at making good games these days. People's views, beliefs, or values are not static. They change over time. I don't dispute that, and if we're gonna change something, we shouldn't judge game developers based on how they look. Pattern recognition would tell me to be worried if I cared about the Elder Scrolls 6, which I don't. Yeah, this pattern recognition involves how the game developers look. Bro, these developers could have looked like the multiverse variants of Tifa Lockhart, and I still wouldn't want to touch the Elder Scrolls 6 when Starfield is the last game that Bethesda made, and Todd Howard is involved in it. But hey, Bethesda can come in and totally prove me wrong. I mean, Oblivion Remastered was pretty decent, right? It was released with little to no technical issues even. Oh wait, that wasn't Bethesda? They just give the license? Alright then. I guess you should be worried. We're still gonna have to wait until some actual gameplay footage shows up, but at least the Elder Scrolls 6 developers aren't as pathetic as this. Remember when Borderlands director Randy Pitchford says real fans are willing to spend $80 on Borderlands 4? Well, he backtracked that comment, and oh my god, this is what you call a backtrack? This is less of a backtrack and more like the Big Rigs Infinity reverse. Long story that is way too long for comfort. Randy apologized for the misunderstanding. He doesn't want anyone to pay more than what they're comfortable with. If there's a price increase, it'll be okay because Borderlands 4 will be a great game. Yeah, right. May I recommend you consider the people who create entertainment you enjoy are actual real people who sincerely are working to try to make cool stuff. Oh, I do believe that. I just think you're not one of those people. Video games are hobbies, and hobbies are things that people would tell you straight up that they're just a colossal waste of time. There's this video of someone building a Star Wars Lego project that cost them $200,000 and 2 marriages. 2 marriages? I'm not quite sure which one is worth it. Corporate intellectual property Lego Star Wars or 2 wives. My husband commits about an hour a day to his hobby or hobbies. That is sustainable. An hour a day seems a bit too small, depending on the hobbies. But hey, if your husband is fine with that, then I guess there's no problem with that, right? At least it's more sustainable than my jab towards PlayStation saying that the PS5 can't play Deus Ex 1 until it proved that it can. This is something boys do, not men. Yeah, there are always little boys behind the face of all these men. That's just to be expected. I forgot who said it, but while growing old is inevitable, growing up is a choice. An hour a day for your hobbies, basically 365, is insane. No, that's normal for any adult life. If you're doing that, you should instead work more or have more children. No thanks, I already work 8 hours plus a day, not counting me making YouTube videos, and 2 kids are more than enough, assuming I got some. But hey, at least hobbies making you lazy and unproductive is way more different than hobbies turning you to criminals. This argument brings back memories, mostly dumb ones. In retrospect, yeah, mothers obviously wouldn't want their children playing a game called Grand Theft Auto when you're a gang member who kills and robs people. Yeah, that's what my mother did. She doesn't want me to play GTA because that game is violent and horrible. I did play GTA eventually as an adult, but I personally find other sandbox games like Just Cause 2 or Saints Row 2 to be infinitely more fun. Not to say video games cause violence, but it's valid for parents not to want their kids to play violent and crime-riddled rated M video games. No, video games do not cause violence, and parents prevent these kids from playing this game for more reasons other than the violence. GTA has swearing, tits, characters doing adult things. They're not exactly the serious to be bought for children. They also obviously cause violence.
We talk about that all the time! We talk about that all the time!
It's one thing to dismiss video games for causing violence, it's another thing to dismiss cartoons for having taboo topics? Absolutely anything is fine as long as it's just a cartoon, including forced non-consensual activities, torture, and murder of babies and children. Yes, because those cartoons do not involve real children. If they do involve real children, that would be a crime worthy of being reported to the cops. But evidently, they're just fictional characters. Also, babies and children get murdered all the time. Final Destination Bloodlines, a film released this year, has a kid being killed. It's one of the best scenes in the entire film. I'm telling you, that kid deserved it. That's not free speech. That's morally criminal. Yeah, no. Fiction is not morally criminal just because it depicts something you find morally reprehensible. Say what you want about those morally reprehensible fiction, at least they're made by actual human beings. AI bros continue to display their arrogance to people. Rest in peace, video animators. No, video animators are not resting. You will when artists and animators stop giving permission to have their artwork being used as data. I stopped wasting time in After Effects. Now I get Ghibli level 4K videos in under 2 minutes. Good for you. The results are still pretty terrible. Look at this garbage. Is this supposed to be Terminator 2? It looks like trash. Look at this animation on this guy in between the frames. His face is completely and totally messed up. The bamboo fell off this panda for absolutely no reason. The supposed fountain that comes out of this video looks like geysers. How is this in any way, shape, or form acceptable? I recommend you go back to wasting your time in After Effects because at least After Effects will give you tangible skills. This is trash and it looks like trash. And you seriously think that this is going to kill animators? Asking artists for use permission would kill the AI industry. Oh no, we have to ask people permission before we use their stuff. It's almost like AI art cannot work without the help of human artists or something. So I really don't understand why AI bros kept insisting that artists or animators are dead when this is the reality that they have to face. That's the only most notable AI hoopla from last week. This hoopla is definitely human, but you really wish it wasn't. I swear a lot of streamers just straight up unable to function properly in real life. Did you know that Asmongold doesn't wear deodorants? And he genuinely thinks he smells good with a room like this. This is why you should spend some of that money to take care of yourself, like what XQC did when he hired those maids. And also, this guy. To all my streamer friends, I recently ended up getting a personal chef to cook meals of the week. Yeah, just get a personal chef to cook your meal to all the rich streamers out there who are listening. Just get a chef and get maids so that they embarrass you in front of thousands of people. Hey, at least XQC put some money to have someone clean his room. Instead of spending $1,400 a month on fast food, I now spend about $800 to $1,000 a month on home-cooked fresh food made in my own home. You spend $1,400 a month on fast food? Good for you saving money on healthier and cheaper options, but the fact that you're spending $1,400 on fast food is already wrong to begin with. You're already at the bottom of the barrel that there's really no other way but up. It's not about being rich, it's about perspective. Yeah, in my perspective, you are filthy freaking rich to afford a personal chef. People spend $1,000 a month on a personal trainer and get praise for taking a healthy initiative. Yes, because personal trainers are guiding you to work out. You still have to do the workout yourself. The chefs are cooking the food for you, not training you to cook. Eating habits are far more important in health. I agree, but hiring a personal chef is quite the rich solution. I prefer actually walking out to get the food myself, but that's not sustainable for streamers who have to stay at their homes, I guess. I know how to work out. I don't know how to eat properly or healthy. Bro, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that fast food is not good for you. And finally, here's some news from my country. The Indonesian government blocked access to internet archives because they contain negative content that violates Indonesian law. They never really specify which negative content that violates Indonesian law, but I do know for a fact that my VPN subscription is definitely going to be extended for 2 more years. To all my Indonesian viewers and those who are struggling in areas where the government holds power on what you browse on the internet, there are many ways for you to breach through the censorship. VPN is the obvious answer, and I recommend checking VPN subreddits to stay updated on the best, most private VPNs, and please do not get the free ones. If you can't afford VPNs, try changing your DNS to something like Google DNS, Cloudflare, or Quad9. Who knows? Maybe through changing the DNS, you can actually bypass the censors. If that fails, you can use apps like Siphon or Lantern to unblock the government censors. There are many guides online how to remove internet censorship from your government. Your internet browsing is your freedom. Don't let the government dictate that. And that's all for the video today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to the end, here's a cat. Before we close this video, huge thanks to all these wonderful sponsors. You are all fantastic. If you want to see your name among these legends, then check out the links below, just $1. And you have supported this channel a lot. Seriously, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all next time.